What's up fam, my name is Tech, and if you're anything like me, you're pretty excited about Granblue Fantasy Relink. I recently played the demo and I thought it would help folks to have some quick character breakdowns so you can easily figure out who to play before launch, so let's get into it. After having played all 11 characters, I've noticed a few of them have some similarities in terms of execution, so I'll be grouping them in case a particular playstyle resonates with you. It'll be easier for you to narrow down. The demo featured Gran, Katalina, Rackam, Lancelot, Siegfried, Charlotta, Yodarha, Narmaya, Zeta, and Ghandagoza. The first group I put together is Gran, Katalina, Yodarha, and Narmaya. All four of these characters revolve around building stacks with their basic attack combos and expending them with skills. So let's get started with Gran. Gran's unique passive is called Adept Arts. You can build levels of this from 1 to 4 by hitting enemies with combo finishers, unique attacks, and link attacks. His second passive, Adrenaline Rush, allows you to quickly charge a unique attack after hitting with a combo finisher, which allows you to get 2 stacks really quickly. Once you've built up stacks, your next skill will be enhanced, and they will persist for a few seconds, which will allow you to sneak in a few more enhanced skills before the arts level resets. As the main character of Granblue, he's meant to be a generalist. In the demo, he has access to a defense buff, an area heal, and even a defense down debuff. He also has a ranged projectile and a general damage skill. With only 5 skills, he pretty much has something for every occasion, and I imagine that will only be further fleshed out in the full release. If that sounds like the type of character you like, Gran might be for you. Katalina plays very similarly to Gran. Her passive Blue Radiance revolves around her summoning her primal Ares. Unlike Gran, it's based on a gauge instead of levels, and each of her combo finishers builds a different amount of meter. Also, the meter only expends when it's used while full. When it is full, Ares will activate on any combo finisher, link attack, skill, or even Skybond art, which will enhance its effects. It also lingers for a few seconds, giving you time to double dip in the buff a bit. Katalina is also a generalist. She currently has 2 damage skills in the form of a projectile and a gap closer, plus an AoE freeze spell. She also has an AoE heal and a self-invincibility which can be applied to the whole party if you have Ares available when you cast it. Yodarha has a similar gameplay loop to the last 2, but he's much more momentum based than them. He has 1 combo, but he must complete the whole thing and land his combo ender to gain triple shout marks. After landing a finisher, he can follow it with another combo, and each one gets shorter, which makes it faster for you to get your marks. Just like with the last 2, his marks enhance his skills and all the marks are spent upon using a skill. All but one of his current skills are damage based, so it seems like he'll focus on damage, but that could definitely change in the full release. Narmaya is the most complicated of this group, but broken down to the simplest parts, her goals are the same. She builds butterflies on her attacks and spins them on skills. She has 2 stances, Dawnfly and Free Flutter. In Dawnfly stance, her combos are slower with more range, and she can hold her attack to charge a large zone attack. If done in a combo, she will charge faster. Hitting a charged zone attack will give her a butterfly. After a zone attack, a well-timed unique attack will switch stances and give you a butterfly, and you can flow into your Free Flutter combo pretty smoothly. While in Free Flutter stance, her attacks are rapid and multi-hitting. Her combo finisher will build butterflies, and you can perfect stance switch to build another one. Narmaya's skills all spin her butterflies on activation, and some of them change effects based on which stance she's in. Most of her current skills are damage oriented, and she has one that's a counter that purges buffs while debuffing targets. If you tend to like characters that are easy to start on but take time to master, Narmaya might be a good character for you. The next group are all melee timing-based characters, Siegfried, Zeta, and Ghandagoza. Siegfried is probably the most straightforward of the 3, as he doesn't have any resource or stance to manage. His passive allows you to enhance his basic attacks by perfectly timing each follow-up after the first, and his second passive gives him super armor on all his unique attacks, which keeps most attacks from interrupting him. His skills are where his complexity comes in, as most of the ones he currently has have some unique effect. He has a gap closer with super armor, a projectile with high stun, a self buff, a counter, and another party buff that prevents debuffs and gives lifesteal. Siegfried seems like a character who'll be primarily focused on damage with some defensive skills and utility sprinkled in. We'll see how that turns out in the full release. Ghandagoza's basic combo is enhanced on perfect button presses the same way, but his combo ender and link attacks build his resource Eternal Rage. Eternal Rage has a cap, and it will fade if you stop dealing damage after a few seconds. His unique attack Raging Fist charges faster and deals more damage based on how much Eternal Rage he has. He has some utility skills like a counter, team buff, and enemy debuff, and a few of his skills actually build his resource, which is interesting. He's not the only character who does this, but the majority of resource-based characters in the demo usually spend resource on their skills. All the other ones who do this in the demo are ranged. If you're the type of player to play Greatsword and Monster Hunter, Ghandagoza might do something for you. If Ghandagoza is the Greatsword, Zeta might be the Insect Glaive. Many of Zeta's attacks and skills put her in a high jump state after landing. While high jumping, if you perfectly time another basic attack, Zeta will slam into the enemy and re-jump. She can repeat this as long as you execute it properly, and each time she does it boosts her attack. After 3 times though, she can do a finisher with her unique attack, which applies a special debuff that increases the damage she deals to the target. She has a pretty similar kit to Ghandagoza and Siegfried in terms of party utility, most notably some CC in the form of a paralyze and a party attack buff. She also has a few skills that lead into her high jump, one of which is a counter. In my opinion, Zeta is the most executionally demanding of the three. If you haven't noticed in the gameplay, I still haven't gotten a feel for her jump attack loops down, but I imagine once you learn it, it shouldn't be too difficult to do consistently. Going into the second to last group, I'm keeping up with the Monster Hunter references. Charlotta and Lancelot are the dual swords of the game. Their playstyle revolves around mashing basic combos as long as you're allowed. Their first passes are nearly identical, as their basic attacks become enhanced once you've been mashing for a few seconds. The only real difference is that Charlotta's link attacks and skills will also contribute to the enhanced attacks. Both of them have pretty similar second passives too. When perfectly timing a unique attack, Lancelot will perfect dodge and continue his combo. When Charlotta does hers, she'll block without interruption and then continue her combo. Charlotta is a bit more mobile, as her unique attacks can launch her into a high jump which she can dive onto enemies with. She also has a team damage cut and an enemy defense debuff. Lancelot is a bit more selfish. Most of his skills are damage, and the one buff he has is a self buff. The one thing he does have to help his teammates is a freeze he can use to lock down for them. If you like to never stop slashing or you watch too much SAO, you might want to give Charlotta and Lancelot a try. The last two characters are the ranged DPS, and their combo patterns are similar as well. Both build a resource by hitting enemies with basic attacks and then spin that resource by charging their unique attack. Io is the quintessential mage of the group, and she plays kinda like a fusion between a black mage and a white mage in Final Fantasy. Much of the white mage part is in her basic and unique attacks. They really remind me of different levels of holy. She can charge her basic attacks, and when you release at full charge, you will get a mystic orb. She can store up to 3, and each one will allow you to charge her unique attack Stargaze one level higher, which increases its damage and AoE. With 3 orbs, you can charge up to level 4, and if you start charging immediately after creating one, it charges faster. Aside from her healing wind skill, the rest of her skills remind me of the black mage. She has fire, freeze, and lightning, each of which gives you a mystic orb. If you combo these together, you can quickly get 3 orbs, then fully charge your Stargaze, which can be really good if you have a short damage window. Her other skill in the demo is similar to the black mage's ley lines. It puts a circle on the ground that prevents you from being interrupted by damage and charges your Stargaze faster. If you like a character that can be built to be a strong support or a chunky damage dealer, consider trying her in this full release. Rackam reminds me of Final Fantasy XIV's Machinist. His basic attack fires 3-shot bursts on long press and deals more damage when chained together with good timing. Those and link attacks will build heat on hit, which increases the damage and charge speed of your unique attack Bullseye Blast. This will consume some of your heat, so your main gameplay loop will be hitting basic attacks, then your unique attack when you're at full heat, rinse and repeat. Other than that, he's currently a pretty selfish DPS character. All of his skills are either damage related or self-utility, with one exception of an enemy defense debuff. Machinist was my favorite ranged DPS class in Final Fantasy XIV, so Rackam ended up being one of my favorite characters to play in the demo. If you like playing simple ranged DPS classes, you might like Rackam too. And that's all the characters available in the demo. I have to say, it's pretty awesome that they give so many to try. When side games announced the demo, I assumed there would be around 5 or 6 characters to try, but they really gave us more than half the playable launch roster. I was already excited to play this game on launch, but the demo made me even more excited. Now I can't even wait. If you like this video, a like would be super appreciated. If this one does well, I plan to do an update of it when the game launches, where I will go further in depth with these characters. Plus, I'd like to cover the rest of the cast as well. If you'd be interested in seeing that, please drop a subscribe so you won't miss it. Thanks for watching. Later, fam.